What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today, I'll be introducing 6 new electric types from my Australian-based Fikimon region, aka Project Dreamtime. Now, enough about the topic of today's video, let's get right into it. Starting off the video with quite the epic Fikimon, it is time for one of the, I think, craziest looking Fikimon lines of my entire region. Not the craziest, but definitely up there in uniqueness. I know some of you guys have been waiting for a spider for quite some time now, and I'm finally making one. I mean, it is Australia after all. Of course, there has to be at least 2 spiders. The idea came to me, surprisingly, from school. Recently, I learned about a type of virus that hides in cells and at first glance kind of looked like a light bulb with the legs of an arachnid. So that's what I sketched, a small spider-like robotic virus thing with a light bulb on its back? Thorax? Whatever you call it, it's a light bulb. I also mixed it with the idea that viruses in computers are called bugs and surfing the web and whatnot, so it just kind of ties this concept together and give it the electric typing because it's a light bulb and a computer bug, which is a very electric thing to be. The design itself is honestly a few months old, but don't worry, the evolution is much cleaner rendering wise. I will admit, the design here was a little bit rushed, and if you guys want to see a redesign, just let me know in the comments, because if you've noticed, I do like to do a few redesigns, and there will be many more to come in the future. Virachnid, the virus Pokemon. Virachnid are very small and weak. To counter this, they use electricity stored in their bulb thorax to charge electricity to mimic a dangerous face to let others know not to mess with it. Virachnid are so small that it can use its electric energy to hack into any form of technology, letting it control almost anything powered by electricity. Originally, the evolution was a small, goofy, mouse-looking computer screen, but I changed it because it was extremely stupid looking. Yeah, the entire idea was very dumb. No evolution to the evolution, if you know what I mean, concept-wise. The real evolution would take inspiration from most of the same things, but would take on some features from the iconic Australian redback spider, which is known to have some of the deadliest venom out of any spider in the world. And it's mostly known for its deadly venom, but also the giant iconic red hourglass shape on it, or at least on its big abdomen. And this stage would have an iconic abdomen that acts like a light bulb and a defense mechanism. I will admit its body layout is a bit strange, but at least it looks cool. The body sketch was actually given to me by a friend. So this guy might look to be as big as an Ariados or even Tyranitar possibly, but in reality it's as big as like a booster pack. Yeah, like a Pokemon booster pack, maybe as big as your phone. Let me know your thoughts. Is this the spider Pokemon that you've all been waiting for? With that said, here's Zoltrax, the corruption Pokemon. Though small in size, Zoltrax have an incomprehensible amount of power. It uses its metallic fangs to corrupt any device, overloading it with electricity which generates from its bulb-shaped abdomen. This Pokemon has a rare form of electricity similar to Rotom's that directly controls electronics, whether for better or for worse. And now for that second line of electric types, this honestly might be my favorite concept that I've created thus far. After searching the web, wink wink to the last Pokemon, for a few unique Aussie animals, I came across something quite interesting. The chocolate wattle bat is a fluffy, brown, and somewhat cute species of bat that feeds on the bright yellow blossoms of the wattle trees in Australia. I noticed how the name chocolate referred to its coloration, but after tweaking a few different ideas, I thought of coffee. Coffee is an extremely popular beverage in Australia, just about as much there as in America. So I thought making this bat have a diet consisting of only coffee beans, which gave enough energy to flap its wings as fast as a hummingbird, letting it create waves of caffeinated electricity, would be a fun and unique twist on the usual design conventions of electric types. As we know, just looking at Pikachu and a lot of other electric types, they tend to be the same thing, and I think this is time for a unique twist on that type. This is probably one of the cutest Fikimon I've made, but definitely one of the best conceptualized ones. Batteratte, the Jitterbat Pokemon. Since the moment of birth, Batteratte are fed nothing but coffee beans. This means that Batterate's energy is always in maximum use, as its body is always caffeinated. Batterate's wings are stored with electricity from the caffeine of the beans, meaning its wings are always glowing at max flap speed. Therefore, it is almost always airborne, even when asleep. At first, sketching the evolution was a piece of cake. The only issue I had was figuring out if the wings should be brown like the rest of the body or bright yellow. See, the idea for the middle stage was the energetic child becomes a tired, bored, and over-caffeinated teen bat that has little to no energy to do anything, let alone walk, fly, or anything of the sort. You see, when some people have too much caffeine, you probably know this or have experienced this, it makes them have so much energy that they can't sleep. Because of this, it either leads to them going nuts because of them being sleep deprived, or just being sick of everything and not having enough energy due to the energy overstimulating them and leaving them with no energy left to do basic things, or I guess functions, I should say. I wanted it to look as if the energy was completely used up, and now the evolution is left with no energy, not even enough to walk, let alone fly, as I said. Also, the idea is that it doesn't have any electricity, so should I make him pure ground type for now, or just keep the dual typing? I don't know, let me know. Batigue are no longer fast and energetic, and are now tired, restless, and annoyed. The caffeine that was once given to a Batteratte to give it energy are now useless to Batigue and barely give it any electricity at all. Because it can no longer rely on its electrical powers, it no longer takes to the sky and prefers to walk or burrow underground. For the final stage, I'll be taking some design inspirations from another species of bat. This one is by far a much more iconic one though. The fruit bat, also called flying fox, is a unique species of bat that is known for obviously eating fruit, as you might have gathered from the psychic type video if you watched that. After many different sketches, I found enough of a good pose that I thought would work, and I went from there. The fruit aspect isn't exactly what I'm using as a base. I just wanted to put the fruit bat into the mix because I thought it was a cool looking bat, and the snout just looks good. I made the wings glow yellow as if they were just charged with electricity, as well as the glowing eyes and a bunch of fluffy fur to reference its fluffy inspirations. I also gave it coffee bean patterns on its belly because if this was a game, I think it would be funny for it to grab some or either eat or throw them at the opponent. I don't know. I will say I might tweak the pose in the future, but the design itself is definitely one of my favorites. Caffeiro, the velocity Pokemon. Caffeiro are not only faster than its first stage, but are now masters of electricity and can turn into thunder and travel through wires and circuits. It eats the coffee beans to generate electricity, which it stores in its chest fur. It now also draws electricity from its wings and stores it for the right time to strike opponents. Caffeiro can harness so much electricity in its wings that they now start to radiate with a yellow glow. By the way, for those who did not pay attention to the other two stages, and this one included, the shinies are actually a reference to matcha. Time for the one and only, super cute, super repeated trend, super predictable, the Pika clone. Yep, every region has one, and I knew I forgot something in the last video. I actually made 3 different Pika clones, 2 of which were very similar to the next, but after trying to make one work, I think I found a pretty good one, a few months later, of course. The Pika clone for my region would be based on probably the cutest thing that I have ever seen, this little guy. This here is the Quokka, and known by all across the world as the world's happiest animal. Let's be honest, you cannot look at me and tell me that this would not be the cutest Pokemon ever. I sketched with the idea of a fluffy teddy bear like Quokka with not really anything going on specifically, just that the electric cheeks are bigger and that's really it. After messing with colors on the sketch, I really wasn't happy with the browns and tans, so I switched over to a lighter, more cream-like color and a nice sunny orange and gave it more tufts of fur instead of looking like Pikachu where it doesn't look like it has any fur whatsoever. I added some tufts of fur to imply its fluffiness and of course the iconic yellow cheeks and a lightning bolt pattern on its belly and forehead. Honestly, not a lot of inspirations here, just a cute, lovable Fakemon. I will say, out of all the Pika clones, this is probably my favorite, only next to Morpeko, because let's be real, Morpeko is a Giga Chad, and I love the forms. Now, when I was thinking about what I could do as a unique twist, I haven't really thought of that yet. And if you don't know what I mean by that, I mean every Pika clone has something unique about it. For example, Pikachu was the first, Plusle and Minun were 2, like there were 2 of them, but they were still the same, so it counted as 1. And then Emolga was the first dual-typed Pika clone. Togedemaru was a totem Pokemon and Steel-type, which is like super unique. I don't know. And then Morpeko had its different form, and then Palmot has its evolutions and stuff. So I don't know what I could do from the unique forms or whatever for my Pika clone, but if you have any ideas, then just let me know, because he's not even dual-typed. He's just pure electric type like Pachirisu. Daikuizap, the Sunlight Pokemon. Daikuizap are known as the world's happiest Pokemon. Not only are they the happiest and cutest things you'll ever find, but also seem to love helping people and are often seen working with people to help better society. And with that, our batch of new electric types is done. Let me know which ones were your favorite and what I should do next. As always, have an amazing day. Rex out. Peace.